Hey guys, alright, so this is our new project. Oh, that'll never do. That'll never do. Alright, so there we go. Problem solved. Threw a little tire on it. So it's a 98, 99, not 100% sure, but body's relatively straight on it. Got that one ding right there, not that big a deal. If we get that far into it, throw a bed on it, maybe knock some of that out with a hammer. Anyway, you know, it is what it is. She'll actually clean up pretty good. The paint's in decent shape. It actually cleaned up pretty decent. Interior, yeah, about what you'd expect. You know, it's ragged out. But she does have the 4.3 V6. Alternator's bad, battery's bad. It's got a blown head gasket. You see right there. That's why I didn't have any brakes or any brake assist. I had to mash this thing through the floor to get it to stop. But it will crank up and run. Got a really good deal on it. A buddy of mine he's just one of those guys you can always call when you need him. He wants to fix it up for his son, so we're going to get his son involved. He's going to help us disassemble this bad boy, and it actually came with pretty much all the parts I need. It came with a complete gasket set, came with a new water pump, new belt, fuel pump, fuel filter. So actually the parts that came with it are worth more than anything that I put in the truck myself. But yeah, see if she'll fire up real quick. Take a look at this raggedy interior. It is 4.3 V6. It is the long wheelbase, which I personally prefer, either the extended cab or the long wheelbase. That's what I like. See if she'll fire up since she's had a little bit of juice on it. Yeah, there we go. Fires right up. She's actually got good oil pressure. Obviously, it's not going to run happy. Blown head gasket. There's no telling what all else is going on with it. 269,000 miles on it. Decent oil pressure though. She ain't got no gas in her. But we'll get into it and see what's going on with it. But yeah, my buddy's gonna be over here later. He's gonna walk around it and see what he thinks he wants to do with it. Of course, first thing he wanted to do was pull the LS out of my truck. Where's she at? There she is, sitting back there in all her glory. He wanted to pull the LS out of there, throw it over in here. My wife ain't having it. Speaking of my truck, she's doing quite well. I've got about 200 miles on it running around. Been working on the tune. Still running extremely lean, but I've got it. She's come up about 50% from where she was. So I mean, you can drive it around and what have you. But what I'm really wanting to do is get it on dyno. But these characters are wanting $1,000 to do a dyno tune on it. So I mean, inflation, I guess. Who the hell knows? But it does have the 8.5-inch rear end under it, which is fairly rare. Luckily, usually it's in the ZR2s, but this one has the 8.5. And actually, what he used this truck for, he has a Corvette that he drifts, and that's what he used this truck for, to drag his Corvette to the track. So that's how it spent its life. He owned it for about 20 years. But once Jeffrey gets here, I'll introduce you to him, and he's one of those guys. If he knew I was out here working on it right now, he'd already be here pointing out everything that I'm doing wrong. He's that guy. But we're gonna work a deal on it, and we're gonna throw this thing together. That way his son's got something to drive to and from school, and that way they've got a pickup truck when they need it. Because all he's got is a bunch of little hatchback Mazdas and Corollas and Camrys and things like that. He doesn't have a truck. He needs one. But it's where we're at. Y'all wish me luck. I'll video some of this. A lot of people may not know how to get down to the head gaskets on these guys. I haven't done a head gasket on a 4.3 in probably 20 years, but they're pretty straightforward. I have to get down there and see exactly which intake that is. I know the intakes can be a pain in the butt sometimes. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe you don't have to pull the distributor on these to get the intake off. I can't remember. It's been a long time. But I got a lot of faith in these little motors. You just about can't kill them. I mean, he drove this thing for 50 miles with no water in it. Well, his nephew did. Drove it for 50 miles with no water in it, and it got him all the way home. So anyway, that's what we're going to be working with.